President Donald Trump has publicly reaffirmed his confidence in Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth as the United States confronts heightened tensions with Iran. The statement comes during a period of increased military readiness, ongoing diplomatic engagement, and growing debate in Washington over the administration's national security strategy. Trump's support for Hegseth follows days of intense scrutiny surrounding U.S. military operations and contingency planning in the Middle East. While the administration has emphasized diplomacy as its preferred path, officials have maintained that military options remain available should negotiations fail. Relations between the United States and Iran have remained strained following months of regional instability involving missile attacks, maritime security concerns, and threats to U.S. personnel and allied interests. The administration has balanced diplomatic outreach with visible military preparedness, arguing that deterrence remains essential to protecting American forces and regional partners. As Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth has overseen Pentagon planning, force readiness, and congressional requests for additional defense funding related to operations in the region. His leadership has become a focal point as lawmakers evaluate both military strategy and the costs of continued engagement. Speaking to reporters, President Trump reiterated that he has full confidence in Secretary Hegseth, dismissing speculation that leadership changes were under consideration. According to the White House, Hegseth continues to play a central role in advising the president on military preparedness while supporting diplomatic efforts aimed at reducing tensions. Administration officials have described the defense secretary as an experienced member of the national security team capable of managing a rapidly evolving security environment. The administration has signaled that it remains committed to negotiations while simultaneously reinforcing the U.S. military posture in the region. Defense officials have continued to monitor developments involving Iran's military capabilities, regional proxy groups, and maritime security. Senior officials have stressed that maintaining military readiness does not necessarily indicate an imminent expansion of hostilities but is intended to preserve strategic flexibility should circumstances change. The president's endorsement has generated mixed reactions in Washington. Supporters argue that maintaining continuity within the Department of Defense is important during a period of elevated international tension. They contend that replacing senior leadership during an active security crisis could disrupt military planning and diplomatic coordination. Critics, however, continue to question aspects of the administration's handling of the Iran situation, including transparency regarding military operations, casualty reporting, and long-term strategic objectives. Some lawmakers have called for increased congressional oversight and more detailed briefings on the administration's plans. Allied governments continue to monitor the situation closely, encouraging diplomatic engagement while preparing for the possibility of further regional instability. Analysts warn that prolonged tensions could affect energy markets, shipping routes, and broader geopolitical relationships throughout the Middle East. International observers have emphasized that any significant escalation could have consequences extending well beyond the region, influencing global security and economic conditions. Although diplomatic discussions remain ongoing, uncertainty continues to shape the security environment. The administration has stated that its objective is to deter further aggression while preserving opportunities for a negotiated solution. For now, President Trump's public backing of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth signals confidence in his national security team as the United States navigates one of its most challenging foreign policy issues. Whether diplomacy succeeds or tensions increase further will likely depend on developments in the coming days and weeks. President Trump's decision to stand firmly behind Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth underscores the administration's effort to project stability and resolve during a period of heightened geopolitical uncertainty. As diplomatic negotiations continue alongside military preparedness, policymakers, allies, and global markets will be watching closely for signs of either de-escalation or renewed confrontation. The coming weeks are expected to play a significant role in shaping U.S. policy toward Iran and the broader security outlook in the Middle East.